Here in my channel in the past, I made a video on a real Pokemon game playing with a fake and trying to trade. What I came to the consensus of is that it works with some generations and not with others. For example, you might be able to use a real copy of Pokemon Blue and a fake copy of Pokemon Green and get them to trade with each other, but it kind of just depends. Also, did I fool you? Because this is actually not a real copy of Pokemon Blue. Let me know. Right now, this copy of Pokemon Leaf Green you're seeing me play, that's a real authentic copy, and I'm actually going to be trying to play with ROM hack Pokemon games. Would it work trading with a game like Pokemon Unbound, a cartridge that is so different from the originals, or would it work with something like this? If you guys didn't see my April Fool's video here on the channel, I played this game. It was a pretty good time. This game doesn't have nearly as many changes as something like Pokemon Unbound, and we're going to test them both out today. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys for watching all the videos recently on the channel. It has been helping so much with growing. It's been a great time. I just want to thank you guys again, and I'm going to boot up the game right here, the inappropriate Pokemon ROM hack. There it is. Like I was saying before, this game is not actually that different from the original Fire Red and Leaf Green. For example, this route right here, Pewter City, it's all in the originals too. There are changes, of course. For example, this person was not up here in the originals, but the whole core of the game is the same. I wonder, did they even keep the area up here, you know, upstairs in game to trade? I hope so. Okay, it looks like they did. This must be your first time up here. I'll show you how the wireless communication system works. Okay, this part looks completely unedited, which is a good thing. I'm gonna set that down and bring the other game up right here. So let's go upstairs. First, I have to remember which lady to actually talk to. Okay, I have a feeling it's that one, just judging by the icons. Let's talk to this lady, and she's gonna say, welcome to the cable club, and let's do trade center. That sounds right, but first, you have to plug in the link cable into your Game Boy. Can't forget that. Now, before saving, I'm just gonna set that down right here and get the other Game Boy. We gotta plug this in too. One thing that was always annoying about this is sometimes you could plug it in and unplug it a million times, and it won't actually detect the cable. Let's just hope it works on the first try. Okay, that lady finally stopped yapping. Let's talk right here. Welcome to the cable club and trade center. You must have at least 2 Pokemon with you. Oh, great. Actually, maybe I have something in the PC. I honestly don't remember if I put anything in here. Please, please. Completely empty. I'll be back in a minute. Now, while I'm catching this Tailo, which is part of the ROM hack, I'm pretty excited because I have a Mudkip. If this actually ends up working, I can not only trade a Tailo, but also a Mudkip to a real copy of Leaf Green early. Boom, we got our Tailo on the first Pokeball. And if I could actually bring in Hoenn Pokemon over there right now, that'd be so good. The phone is now out of the tripod. Let's click on Trade Center and save on both games. Hopefully the cable connection worked. The audio stopped on this game, which is normal for ROM hacks or just fake Pokemon games in general. And let's see. Okay, awaiting link up. Start with 2 players. Confirm. Wait, it looks like it's actually working. No way. Hey, we're actually in. So if you look on game number 1, the legit Leaf Green, you can see both trainers just look how they normally should. And then over here, they both have the ROM hack sprite. Now it's time for the hardest thing ever for my brain. Trying to figure out how to walk. Okay, there we go. Communication standby. Hopefully that's a good thing. Please wait. Okay. Boom, we're in the trade menu. Let me set this down. On game number 1, the legit Leaf Green, I'm going to trade Latios because I do have multiple. And then let's switch over here and I'm going to give my Mudkip. Is this trade okay? Yes. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Please work. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. It looks like the answer for game number 1, the answer is definitely yes. It is possible to trade from a Pokemon game to a ROM hack, but we're going to test the other game out too. Don't worry. There's our Mudkip. We gave a Latios for it. It's not the best trade in the world, but we work with it. Okay, I'm closing out of the trade right now, and I just want to talk about the one downside I could think of to doing this. Don't get me wrong, I think the idea of doing this is very cool. I can look in my party right now and actually see this Mudkip from the ROM hack Pokemon game. So good. But the downside is this Mudkip, it says it was apparently met in Pallet Town because that's where I got it as a starter on that game. Because of this, if I transfer this Mudkip to a game like Diamond and Pearl and all the way up to the new games, it would be considered an illegal Pokemon. The game would know that the only legitimate Mudkip you could get in Pallet Town for Fire and Leaf Green would simply be by hatching an egg, which I did not do. Besides that though, you could use this Mudkip and bring it to an area like the daycare and just breed your own Mudkip eggs and hatch those. I saved the game just to be safe, and let's move on to the next game. Okay, it is now day 2 and I have played through Pokemon Unbound up to the point where you would be able to access a Pokemon Center. You know, the point in the game where you could trade, and there's something I found out. So as you guys saw with this game, I was able to complete a trade, but I cannot with this one, and that's for multiple reasons. Reason number 1 is just the simple fact that the Pokemon Centers were completely changed in this game and do not work the same. You know, the ladies in the Pokemon Center that you could use to trade with upstairs, those are gone. Those are not in Pokemon Unbound. Now, even if Pokemon Unbound worked a little bit like this ROM hack where they still had the Pokemon Pokemon centers, I don't think it would work. You see, when I boot up a game like this, it is a lot different from the original Fire Red and Leaf Green. So many things were changed. For example, in Unbound, they added a lot of Pokemon that were in later generations. I can claim this Gible as my starter Pokemon, and if you tried to trade this or connect it with like Fire Red, for example, it would not work at all. The data for this Pokemon, the sprite, everything would just not be present and it would not be compatible. Because of that, I wanted to give you guys a bit better of an answer. I didn't want to just simply say, this ROM hack doesn't work, this one does, and maybe this one does. Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus for the Game Boy Advance. I have not played this game before. I will soon though. I didn't think you guys would really be satisfied with that answer, me just saying that simply this game works and this one doesn't. The truth is, this Pokemon Legends Arceus game, it could work if they added no other future Pokemon from later generations. Along with that, of course, they would have to leave in the Pokemon Center where you would actually complete a trade. I also have another game which is Pokemon Glazed Nuzlocke, another ROM hack put on a Game Boy Advance cartridge. Even if one of these games, like for example this one, the one that did work, if it added a move that was like a Generation 4 move, for example, that would just instantly make it incompatible. If you guys try this yourself and you want your Pokemon to appear as legitimate, definitely make sure you take something like this Mudkip and breed it. Doing so will give you an egg you can hatch that will actually be a legitimate egg, because Met in Pallet Town is just not possible. I had a good time making this video. If you guys enjoyed, then please subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Peace out, everyone.